Hello, welcome to the live online training with myself, Mark Cartwright. Today we're going to look at enhancing your lessons with active learning tools. So let's have a go. So first of all, we jumped in a bit of an introduction of myself. If you haven't watched any of the videos on this or here, my name is Mark Cartwright, as I've said already, and I'm here to support you in any way I can professional development wise, because that is my kind of job title of professional development specialist. So any support I can be, feel free to leave it in the comments below, or if you want to kind of pause this and jot down my email, then do that as well. Good to hear from you. So today in this kind of quick video here, we're going to look at these objectives here. Now, when we did this live, we got joined together and we played and learned together. So I'm going to try and drop in a few questions at the end, but feel free to add any comments and we can begin that there as well. Or if you do want to join live for the next session as well, I'll leave those details below for you to sign up and be part of that as well. So we're going to look at objectives for this session here, looking at assessments. How can we enhance our lessons? How can we make our lessons better for ourselves as a teacher, but obviously for the learners as well, using assessments? How can we make our lessons better? How can we enhance them with game-based activities, more of the low-risk activities, whether that's on the board itself or sending out to devices, in the classroom, out of the classroom, wherever it might be for that as well. Of course, just through homework if we want to there as well. We're going to look at ready-made activities, the ones that are created by teachers, ones that are created by people at Smart, or ones like myself that were teachers and now work for Smart. And then we're going to finish off at enhancing our lesson with some audio for that as well. So let's jump into it. I'm going to just add up a new page here. Now what I'm using for this, if I just kind of minimize everything at the moment, I'm on my Windows PC here. I could be doing it on a Mac as well, Windows and Mac, absolutely fine. And I'm using to start with, I'm going to use a piece of software called Smart Notebook. You can see I've got a shortcut for that here, or in my start menu, you can search for that. And I've actually got a shortcut down here to my Smart Notebook as well. There is a web-based piece of software which will work on Chrome and everything else as well as just on the board itself. And I'll come to that later on in this training session as well. So I'm going to actually look at this, like I said, is that assessment activities. So assessments here, along the top here, is this response. It's the kind of the yellow one at the top there. Now, most of Smart Notebook is part of the basic version. You can use that for free. But this one here is actually part of the premium side of things, so you're going to need the software and the subscription to go with that. So to be able to access that, you're going to click on account and sign in at the top there. If you need more information about that software and getting a license, then just drop me a message and we can kind of have that as well. Or of course, you've got your trial for that as well. So clicking on this response here, this response is my formative assessment. I can send out the questions to the learners, they can respond to those, and then it'll come back to me, and I can actually gather that data and export it as an Excel document, or obviously Google or Apple's equivalent as well. So looking how to kind of create one of these activities, first of all, I've got this choice of ones here. So I'm going to put true and false, and in this activity here, let's just click on a true and false question, and from here, let's just type something that like, London, if I can spell it properly, again, is the capital of England. There we go. And then I can put, and that is obviously true, click next. I'm going to add in another question as well. So I'm going to add in, this time I'm going to put a multiple answer, and I'm going to put, what is a factor of 35? Dear me, my spelling today. What is a factor of 35? And I'm just going to put a few answers of, for example, 3 and 7, 5, 10, 70. And obviously it is 5 and 7, but not 3. There we go. So I've got a few ones. If I wanted to add an image, of course, I can do that as well. I can add more questions if I want to. I'm just click next. Those are my ones there. Click finish. And now I've got that activity ready to be sent out to my learners there. For them to be able to access it themselves, they can go onto a web browser. Now, it can be any web browser on any device, whether it's a Chromebook, an iPad, a Windows, a Mac, a spare smartboard, whatever it is, it can be that there. So if I'm just going to hellosmart.com, and this is my way in from the learners here. So your students will be able to go through here, and if they have their Google or their Microsoft credentials, they can sign in that way, or you can just go in as a guest. Now, once they're only going as a guest, it's going to ask you for your teacher class ID. Now, I've memorized mine. So it's 162353. They click next. And obviously when we did this live session, people came together and we could have our responses for that as well. And click on my name for here. And click join as guest. And then we can join our activity here. So I'm just going to remove all students actually so it doesn't skew my data. So let's remove those. And let's join back into here. So clicking on my teacher code, click on join. And then I've got this one here. So now you can see that they're ready to start with my students in. As I click start there, my students are joining them as well. And then they can answer these questions here, clicking yes, clicking on the correct ones, going through it, reviewing their questions, and click submit those answers. Once they've submitted those there, you can see that in my teacher copy here, I've got 100% of those teachers reviewed there and they've got those correct. Let's just zoom out a little bit so I can see it. I can show the answers. So on question 1, you can see that everyone has got that and they've answered that one. And then I can go to question 2 and you can see that they've answered those ones there as well. So that's kind of like an overview of the whole class and what they're doing there. I can actually click on back to overview and we've got the kind of whole class how we're doing. If I end this activity for everybody now, what I can do now is go through the answers again and see how we're doing those as a cohort. But actually, if I export these results here, I can export those to an Excel file or obviously equivalents in your systems. And then I've got that hard data that I can use and review at any point after that as well. So if I'm coming back to kind of our objective for today is how to enhance the lesson, if I can enhance it with an assessment, a game where it actually gets them involved in playing and using their devices, then they can have that and then it will enhance the lesson because I'll know where they are. I can ask everyone at the same time those questions, even by building them in front of them because it's quick and easy like that. And then that'll obviously inform my teaching moving forward of that as well. So let's just add a blank page in there. And rather than using the response assessment, I'm going to go into the activities here. And in these activities, there's a whole host of these that are designed to be firstly quick and easy for you to make, but a way to enhance your lesson for support the teaching and learning as well. One's like a fill in the blanks where we can copy and paste or type in text. And then once they're in here, you get to drag and drop them up on there as well. I'm not going to go through all of these. I'll leave that up for you to go and have a bit of a play with and to be able to just see which ones are right for yours. If you just click on this little preview button here, the magnifying glass, it just does show you what that activity does, like a kind of Wheel of Fortune type one there. There's a quite nice memory match one. So it links the kind of, links that bit to that bit. So in this case, it was kind of pig to moo, no, pig to oink, and joins them together. And then I can check the answers at the end as well. And as well as the kind of mostly the quite primary backgrounds. And there are also a simple background. And of course, if you want to add your own template and add your own background to that as well. So it's just a blank one or whatever you want to there as well. So actually, I'm just going to choose this one as a one to demonstrate. And this is the rank order one. So for this, I'm just going to, for example, 2 times table. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Just check that's all right. That one's not there. 14. Next one is, do it again. And that one is 16. So there's my times tables. If I want to put any parameters, I can. I want to instantly change it, or I could put don't check, depending on how you want to assess them. And then click next. I can choose different backgrounds. There's that blank one that I showed you. Or of course I can customize it as well. Once I've clicked on that customize there, clicking next, I can change my background by adding images. I can move this around a little bit and click on picture. I can bring in my own picture, or if I just click on there, I can then search online as well. Complete safe search, whatever images will be here. So I can type in maths and then just choose a background, which one I quite like that one. So let's go for that one. Click OK. Just a nice kind of, and I can crop it to maybe just looking at part of it. Click save, and there is my game made ready. And if I click finish on that one, it's then in here. Yes, I can play it on screen. Students can come up and actually be on the board here. If I click on this zoom button that I did beforehand, I can go full screen. So now we can have multiple people doing it at the same time. So I've got these ones here, and if I've got, I'll actually put it in the box, multiple people coming at the same time, they can get it right. or if I did put it in and get it incorrect, it's just going to chuck it out again, because that's the way I've set that up as well. And also, if I want to include other learners in this as well, not just that screen, I can click on my mobile device at the side and click start, and now that is sent out to everybody as well. So you can see here that this is the one that was just using at the student view, and then that game is mirrored on the student device as well. Whether they're playing remotely or actually in the class as well, they can be part of this, having these activities. Slightly differently to that is if you're not teaching through the windows, or if you just want to teach web-based, or rather than just sending out one activity, you want to send out your whole lesson, as an example. And that's when you would come to this website here, Lumio. Lumio is just lum.io, and you've got a free trial to be able to use this for about 10 lessons, just to have a bit of a play, see what it was. Or of course, if you've got the subscription to the smart software, it comes with that as well. And what you can do with this is you can drag and drop a PowerPoint and put it in here and start your lesson that way. You can, the same for a smart notebook file or a Google Slides or a PDF. You can actually combine those lessons together for that as well. But for today, I just want to add an activity. So if I click on add an activity, I have got lots of different ones here, and there's some pre-made content there as well, which I'll come and look at in a minute. But actually I've got game-based activities here. So if I click on these game-based activities, you can see that many of these are the same as within Smart Notebook. Like the fill in the blanks, there's the matchup one, we had the rank order, which we used as well. But actually in Lumio, there are actually a few more activities as well, like word search. So let's just click on word search, and you can see it's a very similar wizard, very similar way of actually creating these here. So let's just type in a few of these here. Let's type in shop, shake, if I can spell that one, that's not very good for spelling. What else have I got? Can't think now. Shin, there we go. So I've got some words, obviously looking at the initial sound, and I can do whatever I want. I'm probably going to choose slightly different ones than that one, but hey ho. And then I can just make it slightly easy by looking at these parameters. I can make it moderately different so you can read what it is, actually show the word list as well. Click next. Now I could customize it and put my own background like I did from the one before. Choose any of the templates. For now, I'm just going to look at FutureBots and click start on this one here. So it's then going to upload it to my Lumio lessons, which I can teach straight from a web browser. And then I can deliver that to anybody else as well. I can actually send this out as a homework, so that more kind of asynchronous way, or pressing play and doing it synchronous for here as well. So if I just click finish editing on that one, then there is my lesson. I can click start, and then you can see for the students as well, if that's the student view that side, this is the teacher view this side, then we've both got that activity as well. The students can start it, the teacher can start it, and as you can see, they're completely different. So as a student has one there, it's not going to be the same up on here, but theirs is going to be down there as well. So every time I start this activity, it's going to be a new one. So the children can keep playing and playing, or if I'm struggling, I can go for a hint there, and there's a H to be able to say shake. Now, because this is an intermediate one, some of them are going to be diagonal for that as well. Excuse me. And then if I just end this activity here, there are a lot more within those activities as well for you to go and have a bit of a play and you can see through. But like I said at the beginning, we're only trying to make this a 20-minute quick session, so let's just learn a little bit. The next one on our objectives is to look at resources. Now, there are lots of resources available within here, and all you can see, there's lots of maths activities at the top, and there's some different ones down there. You can read the titles, and there's lots of this pre-made content. A lot of these are made by teachers, either actually still working in the classroom at the moment, or have left to join Smart to help support this content, a bit like myself, being that teacher at heart, but working for Smart now. So these lessons are really, really good for the classrooms themselves here, including this one here, where I've got UK coin manipulatables. Built into the board, there is the manipulatable of dollars and of euros, but if you want UK coins, there are those there as well. So if I just click home here, I'm just going to address our final objective. And that one is, if I go to edit this lesson, is to add audio. Now I'm in Lumio, you can see that I've got a little audio button at the top here. So if I click on audio, this is where I can add my audio to the lesson here. Find the words in the word search. Why don't you have a few goes? Obviously my microphone wasn't turned on, so you saw that pop up. But I can play that here, I can rewind it, fast forward it, whatever it is. I can delete it, or I can start recording again. Or now I can add it to the file. Now you can see it appears at the button on the side there. So when I do share that with the learners, they're going to get that audio instruction for that as well. So let's just jump back up to our start in our objectives. We've looked at assessments up here. We've looked at the game-based activities up there as well. Both of those you need to sign into the top. If you haven't got the Smart software already, feel free to download that as a free download. Just Google Smart Technologies Notebook version 21 and you'll be able to upgrade to that. We've looked at some ready-made activities and with adding audio to that as well. So jumping down to the end, first of all, there's a challenge for you. What activities you're going to use and how you're going to share them with your students as well. Have a go with that. How are you going to enhance your lesson with one of those today? And then tell them about it. That's your colleague, that's something on social media, or just email me myself as well. If you want to share it, we're using the hashtag #WeAreSmart, then I'll be able to find that one as well. And of course, any social platform, of course, which one you want to use. Now, during the live sessions, there are a few questions that come up, so I'm just going to jump out and answer some of those.
Are the activities available on Smart Notebook the same as those in Lumio? I am using a lot of these in Lumio at the moment. Liz, you're exactly right. And hello, Liz, nice to hear from you. These are exactly the same. Yes, there are more within Lumio, and I'm going to come on to look at those in a moment. Mainly for the reason that it's easier to update our online software regularly, as opposed to Smart Notebook tends to be an annual big release. So these are the ones that are available at the moment within Smart Notebook. And then all of those are in Lumio and a few additional ones as well. And I'll come to those next. How easy is it to import a PDF or a PowerPoint into Smart or Lumio, especially PowerPoints with annotations, animations? So let's just jump to that one there. So adding in PowerPoint is as easy as this. So import, and then I can look for my local local storage, and I can bring that one in, and it works perfectly. An even easier way to do it is if I've got a folder here, and on this folder here, I can find a PowerPoint. And this PowerPoint here, all I need to do is drag and drop it, and then it's now, you can see uploading as well. So really nice and easy to bring that PowerPoint, drag and drop it, and then it's in here as well. The animations won't carry across. It will just be either, it be as a static page, or you can put, select it so there's a background image, there's text, and there's images, so it'll separate those across, but the kind of transitions between the pages aren't carried across there. And that one is then part of my file as well. If I wanted to add to that as well, I can actually add multiple documents as well. So it doesn't have to be just one PowerPoint or one PDF. I can actually add multiple ones to that document within that as well for making that lesson together.
Hopefully you find some of those questions and more importantly the answers useful as well. And of course, if you want to add anything as well, email me or put any comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. In a couple of weeks' time, we're going to join the next session. Of course, join us live. It'd be love to see you there. And we're going to look at how to deliver these lessons to students, whether they're in the class or whether they're out of the class, looking at homework and all these different types of styles of learning that we have got now. Have a look at those, and that's going to be on the 6th of October. So follow the link in the comments and join up and see us live, or of course, just watch next time's recording if you want to. And on a final note, if you want to learn any more about professional development, professional learning, if you go to this website here, bit.ly/SmartUKPL, just make sure you get the case sensitive there. Then that's going to take you to a few more links, particularly based in the UK stuff, how we can support you across the year, looking at that long-term embedding of the professional development, of the professional learning, and whether that's coming out face-to-face or that's booking a demo, looking at more of the software and hardware side of things as well, how we can support you in that way. So hopefully that's been useful, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for the next session as well. So thank you and take care. Goodbye.